has reached more than 300 classrooms and school auditoriums. As she wooed students and shared her innovative ideas about education on some of the world's leading media outlets, school administrators and technology advocates began requesting Adora's expertise. Today, in addition to her regular workshops in some of the nation's most prominent school systems, Adora conducts professional development seminars for teachers and speaks at education conferences. Adora, I may get your age wrong. I believe you're 11 right now. But she did correct me on that. So I'm going to hand this presentation now over officially to Adora.
Hello, very nice to see you all, 29 participants, which is very nice to see such a large group, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you about a kid's eye view of an innovative classroom. And I'm actually now 12, I just turned 12 on October 15th, and I'm still getting used to myself saying that I'm 12 years old, so no problem with that. Thank you very much, I see happy birthday. So today, since I still have a few remaining years left in which I will be a kid, then I thought that I might as well maximize on those years by speaking about a kid's eye view of an innovative classroom, meaning that what kids think of the classroom and ways that you can engage us more in learning. So by innovative, I might be talking about technologies, but also teaching and learning best practices. So I am actually coming here from Redmond, Washington, and I live in the Puget Sound, so very far away probably from most of you. Now, my teaching and learning career kind of started when I published my first book called Flying Fingers, and that contains 9 of my short stories, as well as tips for writing for students and teachers. So that really sparked a lot of different things. I published some more books, Dancing Fingers, selected poems and writing inspirations from 2 sisters. My older sister contributed her poems to that book. And Young Disguise is a work in progress right now. I have the advanced copy and I'm doing final edits. From writing went teaching, or came teaching. After I started writing and publishing books, I thought, well, it's kind of a waste just to have this talent bottled up. Why don't I share my love for writing with others? And so I went to local schools, and I talked to students there about writing and why writing was cool and how to do different types of writing. And from that, I've expanded in distance learning. I've taught over 350 schools and classrooms through video conferencing and school visits. And I've been to, either through distance learning or physically, Dubai, England, Canada, Costa Rica, China, and Vietnam. So my programs are available. You can actually see them on CILC, or the Center for Interactive Learning Collaboration. So I have programs like A Kid's Guide to U.S. Government. That's actually one of my most popular ones. A lot of people request that, especially with social studies exams going on. And so actually, I was really touched by this. One teacher, after I was presenting A Kid's Guide to U.S. Government, said, "I told the kids these things about government 10 times and they still don't get it, and when you tell them, it makes a difference." And so I thought that that was really something that made a difference for me, and that video conferencing and distance learning is a really interesting way to make learning innovative. Kid's Eye View to U.S. Government Part 2 is part of the series, and Kid's Eye View of an Innovative Classroom, which is what I'm presenting today. So that is how I get my message out to a wider audience, and many of my programs, I can customize them. I offer over 30 different programs that feature live writing demonstrations, interactive activities, and storytelling. My social studies workshops teach kids and teachers how to use writing as a creative learning tool across disciplines. I try to provide kids with a tangible and exciting example of where writing can take them, because I'm a firm believer in that writing and reading can make pretty much anything possible. How I make my programs. So a lot of people wonder, since maybe they've seen my presentations and it seems almost different, and that's because I customize my presentations quite often to make them relevant to higher grades, like high school level students, younger kids from kindergarten to 3rd grade, and special education units. So I might start with kind of this base content and then tweak it to fit the audience and to provide the most meaningful resources. So for instance, with Kids Guide to U.S. Government, I was presenting to students in New York who were going to take the New York Social Studies test, so I took a look at some sample tests of that and answered those questions into the presentation. My goals, all of my presentations center around a common goal to show kids that writing is fun, empowering, and exciting. So for me, writing has always been one of my lifelong loves, although I've only been around for 12 years. I have to admit that for most of those 12 years, writing has been something I've been engaged in for a long time. So I started writing longhand when I was 4, and I got my first computer when I was 6 years old. And I started typing up my stories, and from that, published in books and teaching. It's been a really fun journey, and it's led to some traveling as well. I've traveled in person to England, France, Italy, China, Vietnam, Canada, and 21 states, including Indiana. Just recently, I inserted that, especially because I just came back from Indianapolis to be precise, at the middle school conference there. So I do a lot of traveling, and from the places I travel, I get lots of insights on the school systems and state standardized tests and education conferences, because that's mainly what I do when I'm traveling, is attend education conferences. So states I visited include, well, obviously I live in Washington, but also Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona, Hawaii, Texas. I was actually in San Antonio not too long ago, Florida, Georgia, and so really all around the country I've been to many different places. It would take a little too long to find each one though. So now I want to hear from you. Give a check mark if you often use video conferencing or web, like Elluminate for teaching or learning. So distance learning, I should say. Distance learning or video conferencing. Give me a check mark if you often use either web resources like Elluminate or video conferencing, just distance learning in general. Okay, so I see, often I would say at least once a month. So I'm seeing like quite a few check marks. It looks like the majority of the audience uses distance learning frequently. So I too use distance learning. I actually video conference with students around the country and around the world pretty much every day, teaching lessons. So for instance, coming up, I believe I'm going to be teaching writing with prompts, descriptive writing, poetry. And now I want to hear, I want to know my audience. It's something that I do quite a bit. It's polling you on who you are. So I'm going to change the type of polling that we have here to, there we go. Thank you. Teacher, administrator, media specialist, or tech coordinator, professional development specialist. I want to hear who you are. If you're a teacher, put A. If you're an administrator, put B. If you're a media specialist or tech coordinator, put C. If you're a professional development specialist, put D. Wow. I am really amazed that we get such a wide variety of responses here. So it looks like a lot of you are actually professional development specialists. Some of you are media specialists and tech coordinators. We have, I think, a few teachers.